Today I'm going to be reacting to Mike Pence's reason why he's not endorsing Trump in the 2024 election. More about that in this video. Welcome to Republican Talks, everybody. I'm your host, Kenneth Glenn. Today, I don't think it's going to be a very long video, just want to hop on here. I just saw this video. It came out about a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about it. I thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to react to it and give you my thoughts on it. So, it's Mike Pence. He's basically doing an interview, and he's giving his reasons why he's not endorsing Trump. Not anything necessarily bad. I don't necessarily hate what he says here. I just wanted to, debunk a couple of his points, and because some of the claims he makes are wrong. We're going to roll the first clip now.
I think when you hear him refer to those people facing charges as hostages and patriots.
Well, I think it's very unfortunate at a time that there are American hostages being held in Gaza. That the president or any other leaders would refer to people that are moving through our justice system as hostages, and it's just unacceptable. I was there on January 6th. I've no doubt in my mind, Margaret, that some people were caught up in the moment and that entered the Capitol, and they're certainly entitled to due process of law for any nonviolent activities that day. But the assaults on police officers, ultimately an environment that claimed lives, is something that I think was tragic that day, and I'll never diminish it.
And the legal system
is like January 6th. I'm pretty sure it was an inside job. I'm like 90% sure it was an inside job. I got plenty of evidence to back that up. The cops were like letting the guys in, badging people into different rooms, letting them in. There was the guy with the bison helmet. I forgot his name, but he was literally let into one of the offices. As I was saying, the guy with the bison helmet, that he's probably the most famous January 6th rioter or protester. He got sentenced like 5 years in jail, or 3 to 5 years in jail, and he was let in to the rooms he got into by police officers. Like, police officers really walking with him through the Capitol, letting him in, doing stuff. So it's like, it's so overstated of how bad it was. It's like, come on, dude. It was clearly an inside job.
False. Did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol on January the 6th prior to the doors being open?
Again, I had to be very careful.
It should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no?
I'm going to punch him out. This is my moment. I would pay to see that. I've been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to
go. Also, like, the fact that CNN paid John Sullivan $70,000 beforehand to go to this, quote, protest.
I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. My group is Insurgents USA. We about to burn this shit down. Out there strapped. We out there ready to burn that down. We out there to defend our self. I'll rip Trump out of that office right over there. Pull him out that shit.
and he was paid ahead of time to do that, to blend in as a Trump supporter and start that stuff. There's so much evidence that points for this being some sort of inside job, that someone knew about this beforehand. But people forget about that. CNN paid John Sullivan $70,000 to interfere with the riots or the protests. And yeah, the hostages, these January 6th people that are in jail are hostages. A lot of them are. Some of them were stupid. That guy who pepper sprayed the cop, and he's the one that the mainstream news says that he's responsible for his death. I disagree. I think whoever threw that fire hydrant is the one that's responsible for his death. But the guy who sprayed pepper spray in the injured cop's face, that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? But there's other guys like Enrique Terrio, I think his name was. That's how you say it. He got 22 years in jail for sending text messages about like times and meeting places for the protest. He got put in jail for 22 years. 22 years is nearly life in prison, by the way. And he got that for sending text messages. Like, that is insane. For example, Joseph Rosenbaum was sentenced 10 years in jail, and he raped 10 children. He penetrated 10 children. Think about this, okay? Like, actually think about this. He raped 10 kids, and he only got 10 years. He raped 11 kids and got 10 years in jail. And you're telling me that this guy sends a couple text messages telling people where to meet and where to go, and he's getting 22 years in jail for like some sort of... It's so stupid. Come on. Like, get out of here. Pence said that January 6th claimed lives as if it was like Vietnam, as if like 80, 90 people were killed that day. It was like the worst thing on the planet. 5 people died, and 4 of the 5 people who died were protesters. That's how not big of a deal that January 6th was. Like, January 6th was such a small thing in the grand scheme of things. For example, the amount of property damage that was done during January 6th was only like $1 million. The amount of property damage done during the BLM riots of 2020, the summer of 2020, $2 billion. Literally 2,000 times more damage dealt by the BLM crowd than there was during January 6th. And it's crazy how overshadowed the BLM riots are.
Trump's walked away from conservative
Well,
principles.
I do. I said it during my presidential campaign. The president and I have profound differences. And many people think it's just over January 6th. And frankly, the fact that the president continues to insist that I had the right to overturn the election that day is a fundamental difference. But
Now, the second clip that I wanted to react to was the clip where Mike Pence is saying that he did not have the power to overturn the election. This was a popular claim made by a bunch of people during the election because Mike Pence was given the opportunity to overturn the election. He was given the opportunity to say yes or no, because I don't know if you knew this, but this is a power that the vice president has. They can either prolong the process to further show that the election was legitimate or not. This was famously done during the 1960 election with that voter fraud in Texas and Illinois. Richard Nixon decided to give the election to Kennedy. He actually went against himself and gave it to his opponent because he did not want to cause a constitutional crisis, which is another reason why I think Richard Nixon is one of the best presidents of all time. but you can learn more about that in my video right here. Also, if you want to know if you want more information about January 6th, you can watch my old video right here about it. That video was made when January 6th riots were like first happening. So all the information was fresh if you want to learn more about that, like I said, right there. So that is a thing that vice presidents can do. I never understood why everyone's saying like, oh, Mike Pence couldn't do that. Mike Pence couldn't do that. It's like, really? Like, do you guys even read history books? Do you guys even study history at all? Because presidents have done that in the past. I don't know why this is such a wild thing for me to say that he could have easily at least prolonged the election process to legitimately make sure whether or not the election was rigged or not. Which, come on, all of us know it was rigged. But by this point, like, come on, it's so obvious how the graph, just like how the wave goes like normal and then just spikes straight up for Biden. Like, come on, it was clearly rigged. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.